All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful ways you can get a handle on your cloud costs: rate optimization. Now, this isn't just about chasing a few discounts here and there. Nope. It's a full-blown strategy for managing the price you pay for every single thing you use in the cloud. So, have you ever opened your monthly cloud bill and had that sinking feeling? That little jolt of, whoa, where did that come from? It happens to the best of us. The whole pay-as-you-go model is amazing for its flexibility, but if you don't have the right strategy, those costs can really get away from you fast. When you really boil it all down, your cloud bill is just a simple formula. It's what you use times the rate you pay for it. Now, optimizing your usage, that's a huge topic for another day. Today, we are laser focused on that second part of the equation, the rate. This is where you can find some absolutely massive savings. So here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by defining what rate optimization actually is. Then we'll open up the toolbox and look at the different levers you can pull. We'll talk about who needs to be on your team, map out the whole journey from being a beginner to an absolute pro, and finally, show you exactly how to tell if they're winning. Okay, so what is rate optimization really? It's so much more than just finding a coupon code. Think of it as a core capability, a real skill your organization develops as part of a mature FinOps practice. So here's the official definition. It's all about lowering the rate you pay for stuff, and you do it in two main ways. One is through negotiated deals, and the other, which is way more common, is by using commitment-based discounts that are available to everyone. The key here is being proactive about it, not just reacting when the bill is too high. All right, you're sold. You want to lower your rate. So what's in the toolkit? Well, think of it like this. It's kind of like buying electricity for your house. You've got different plans, different rates, and if you choose the right one, you can save a ton of money. It's the same idea on the cloud. And the biggest, most powerful tool in that whole kit, it's commitment. It's a simple deal. You promise your cloud provider you're going to use a certain amount of their services for 1 or even 3 years. In return for that predictable business, they give you a huge discount. It's a win-win. Now, these commitments kind of come in two main flavors. On one hand, you have resource-based commitments, like reserved instances. Think of this as pre-booking a very specific hotel room in a specific city for a year. You get an amazing price, but you lose all flexibility. On the other hand, you have spend-based plans. This is more like buying a gift card. You commit to spending, say, $10 an hour, and you can use that credit on a whole bunch of different services. You get a little less of a discount, but way more flexibility. And then there's the wild card, spot instances. This is basically you raising your hand and saying, hey, I'll use your leftover spare server capacity for a crazy discount. We're talking up to 90% off sometimes. But there's a catch. The cloud provider can take that server back with almost no warning. So it's fantastic for certain jobs, but your engineering has to be pretty clever to make it work without things breaking. Okay, and this leads us to a really, really important point. This is where things can go wrong. Picture this. Your engineers are working super hard to get rid of a machine to save money. At the exact same time, your FinOps team, also trying to save money, buys a 3-year commitment for that exact same machine. If those two teams aren't talking, you are literally paying for something you don't even use. That's why communication is absolutely non-negotiable. And that brings us right to the team, because you just can't do rate optimization in a silo. It is 100% a team sport. To really succeed, you need people from all across the company working together. So let's look at the lineup. You've got your FinOps practitioner, who's kind of the coach running the overall strategy. Engineering is on the field, telling you what they're going to need. Finance is your analyst, modeling the financial impact. Procurement is the agent, negotiating the deals. Product owners are making sure it all makes sense for the business. And of course, leadership is setting the rules of the game. Everybody plays a part. Okay, so you've got your tools, you've got your team. What does this actually look like in practice? Well, rate optimization is a journey, a capability that gets better over time. And we can map that journey using a really simple framework: crawl, walk, run. So in the beginning, in the crawl stage, things are usually a bit chaotic. You might have one engineering team buying some commitments, another team buying different ones. There's no central strategy. It's all very reactive, usually happening after someone gets a surprisingly large bill. But then you mature into the walk stage. Now you've got a central FinOps team that's starting to coordinate everything. They're looking at the data, making smart recommendations, and working with procurement. There's a regular rhythm to it. Instead of just panic buying, people are actually starting to collaborate. And finally, you get to the run stage.
And this is where the magic happens. Here, you're running like a well-oiled machine. Everything is driven by data and clear metrics. You might even be automating your purchases. You're proactively managing everything and tying rate optimization into all your other cost-saving efforts.
So let's just quickly recap that journey. Crawl is reactive and chaotic. Walk is coordinated and planned. And run is automated and data-driven. So take a second and think about it. Where is your organization right now? Are you crawling, walking, or running? Speaking of being data-driven, once you get to that mature run state, how do you actually measure your success? How do you put a number on all this hard work? Well, it all comes down to a few key performance indicators, or KPIs. First up, for those super specific resource-based commitments, you're aiming to use them at least 80% of the time. You bought these specific coupons, right? This metric just makes sure that those coupons are actually being used and aren't just sitting in a drawer collecting dust. Now, for the more flexible, spend-based plans, the goal is even higher. You're shooting for over 90% coverage. Think of that gift card analogy. This metric ensures that for every dollar on that gift card you promise to spend each hour, at least 90 cents is actually being used to get you a discount. No wasted money. This one is really important. Mature organizations treat these commitments just like any other big investment. They manage their risk by making sure that any new commitment they buy pays for itself. It breaks even in less than 9 months. This guarantees a quick return and protects them if their technology needs suddenly change. And finally, we have the boss metric, the one that ties it all together, the effective savings rate, or ESR. This single number tells you the total percentage you saved across everything, compared to what you would have paid if you just stuck with the standard on-demand price. It's the ultimate report card for your entire program. So that brings us full circle, right back to your own journey. Really understanding if you're in the crawl, walk, or run stage is that critical first step. It tells you where you are, and more importantly, it shows you the path forward to truly mastering your cloud costs. The only question left is, what's your next move?